G'day fellas and welcome to a casted game. Spawning in on the south side of the map in the colour yellow, playing as the Abbasid dynasty. It is Luciferon. Don't you love being able to zoom in? I tell you what, thank you devs. Thank you devs, I know you guys sometimes watch. Thank you. Thank you for fixing up the zoom. It makes me feel a lot better. And on the north side of the map in the colour green, playing as the Mongols, representing Team Liquid, we've got Jamu. There we go. Had to wait for that TC to come up. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. We're on Golden Heights here, of course, in the ranked ladder pool or ranked map pool. You will find this map, and you know what else you'll find? A segue to our spot. No, I'm just kidding. That's the lightest tech tips meme. But in all seriousness, make sure that you like the video if you enjoy this Age of Empires 4 content. Now, we've got some important stuff to talk about in this video. Of course, I read all the comments and I see everybody saying, Drongo, speak about the UAPs, speak about the aliens, let us know what's going on. The reality is, you know, I don't need to do that, but I am very interested in it. I think ever since I've been a kid, I've always been interested in that question. You know, are we alone? And I talk about it with my dad 2, 3, 4 a.m. in the morning, and we'd sit there watching the History Channel. And you guys know what the History Channel's like, right? Like, it's not really the History Channel. I mean, unless you're a fan of ancient aliens. But look, anyway, what's so important? So there's been a congressional hearing that happened today in the United States where 3 witnesses were under sworn testimony. Now, 2 of them ex-military. Their testimony has been thrown about plenty. But the third one in particular is, in my opinion, the most important one as we begin to see water coming out early here for demo. So the third one is testimony by the name of a guy called David Grush. Now, this guy's an ex-military intelligence officer. He's got like 14 years of experience. And the reason why his testimony is so strong is because it was actually his job to go and do all this research for the president. So basically he did what was called a presidential brief, and that was on what are called special access programs, SAPs. And it was his job to know all of the SAPs. And he was asking questions about this one special access program about UFOs, and he wasn't being allowed in. And so anyway, long story short, he got upset about it, made a couple complaints, retaliation happened, and then he said, fine, I'm going to go blow the whistle. And that's exactly what he did. So gave himself a little bit of a whistle. And well, that brings us to today. So I'll leave a link in the description if you want to watch it. Now, I'm not going to recommend that you watch the whole thing. I'll probably leave a link to something a little bit smaller, but I can tell you the following, okay? So number 1 is there are claims of a cover-up. That's a big thing. Okay, so the United States government, it is claimed under testimony, by the way, which obviously perjury is a massive risk for anybody who's lying under oath. So he said that there's an intentional cover-up to the point where he actually said that the guy whose name is Sean Kirkpatrick, who's in charge of what's called Arrow, which is basically the reporting function for all UFOs and UAPs and all that kind of stuff, it's his job to sort through these. And he said, David Grush said that he's spoken with this guy, provided him actual evidence, and that he knows that the evidence has never been followed up on because he gave this guy leads and he just never followed up. So he quite literally called him a liar. So it's pretty big. But essentially, he says that there are what are called non-human intelligence. They have non-human intelligence have created crafts, and they've been recovered by the United States government, and they've been held secret to reverse engineer them. So pretty exciting stuff, pretty grandiose. I don't know if that's the right word, but I mean, like, outrageous, right? Like, that's crazy. Obviously, it's stuff of the conspiracies, but, you know, there's always some truth to... Well, I say there's always some truth to the conspiracies, but then I think of the flat earth, and then I'm like, oh, I don't know, sometimes I'm standing on that riverbank. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not a flat earther. All right, well, the age-ups come through. Military wing through for Luciferon. It's been 4 minutes so far. I've talked your ears off about aliens. As I said so far, look, that's pretty much it. All you need to know is that's happening, and hopefully we have some legislation coming forward shortly. Looks like some sheep might get taken out. The 1-for-1, look at that. Luciferon with some beautiful micro early on says, you're getting away with none of those sheep, mate. And now heading over towards that east side, we've got the double dock coming down for Luciferon. Important to note that early on here, Luciferon did not look to challenge in the Dark Age for that dock, just simply because you're up against the Mongols, right? You're up against double production. Here's the Uvu. There's the stable that was going to go down, and he just said, no, I'm not going to even bother. But now that he's up, now that he's got that military wing, he says, let's get it on, baby. So he's got the double dock coming up. And we can see that Demu's looking to try and rush up this deer stones here. 8 villagers on it. I saw he had 10 villagers on it beforehand. At the moment, he's got a pretty decent amount of fishing boats here, but I'm curious exactly what Luciferon's... Oh my god, he's going for an early battering ram. This is getting wild. Wait, is he even setting... there's a part of me that thinks he's not even setting up to take the water with military, but rather just for fishing. He's like, oh, I'm going to just go into double docks. Like, this is fine. I mean, this is kind of crazy at this point because Demu obviously wanted to go into military units early on, and he's like, I don't think I really need to, and it was the right call, but now Luciferon comes out of the gates hot. He's like, actually, you kind of did. Remember that the Abbasid dynasty does have cheaper docks as well. So if we take a look here, you can see 75 wood. So bringing out the double villager, obviously it's going to cost you double the amount of villagers and villager seconds to do it. But at the end of the day, you're getting up 2 docks, which is very, very nice. Obviously difficult to deny. The light junk going to come out though, and right on the shoreline, it could be denied. You can see him splitting up the units, doesn't pop them inside. Instead just says, you know what, you guys will go absolutely fine. Jeez, that's close though. You know, another 3 or 4 seconds. To be honest, even another 3 or 4 seconds, and I don't think he would have had it. But it looks like with the battering ram, there is absolutely no way that you are keeping up this dock. Look at this strategy coming out from Luciferon. I'm going to be honest, like, this is actually next level when you think about it, right? Why is this next level? Everybody looks at the Mongols as, like, the king of hybrid maps. They come along to hybrid maps and they're like, I've got double production. And the Delhi Sultanate's like, well, my fishing boats can shoot. And the Mongols like, I don't care, I've got double production. I can just overwhelm you eventually. And Luciferon comes in and he's like, not only am I going to go military wing, so I don't have to spend resources on a barracks, I don't have to spend resources on an archery range, because if you go for spears, I've got archers. If you go for cav, I've got spears. Everything is already covered. And on top of that, he then brings out the double dock, which, as I mentioned before, right, like, he's not even really looking to prep the water so much to take it, but rather just going to be fishing from this. So really cool moves coming out from Luciferon. This is actual big brain water plays right now that we are getting to witness. So I'm loving it so far. He's going to take the water and put himself in a really advantageous spot. Now the question is, where does he go from here? If I'm playing in Luciferon's position, my goal right now is getting to Castle Age. I just want to go straight into Culture Wing. And the reason why is because I'm going to have so many resources flowing into me right now just from the ocean. So, you know, you're going to obviously guard up the shoreline with the units that you've got out here. In fact, where is... Okay, there it is. The Backler. So he's got the two ships, which should easily be able to guard this. So I don't think there's any question about whether Luciferon keeps this water. He will keep it. Now the question becomes, how does he win? Because he's already so far ahead. And by the same token, how does Demu look to get back into the game? Now, I would argue for Demu, the best thing he could do is look to get some Keshiks going. And we can see out on the map, that is indeed what he's going to be doing. So going up to 4 Keshiks early on, he needs to try and look to hit the enemy wood line. You hit the enemy wood line, you cause idle villagers here. It's going to stop them from producing fishing boats, but it's also going to potentially kill villagers. And that's what you really want here. Now, keep in mind, there's also walls that are at the front. So if Demu does take some damage, you can always come over and look to heal up on these palisade walls. Looks like we will see a barracks coming up for Luciferon here, but as I mentioned, I think the primary goal here for him needs to be about getting the castle, but obviously we just want to get there as safely and as quickly as we can. It looks like the barracks probably needs to come up a little bit sooner than what it is. Villager going to be going down if he's not careful. Indeed, he does lose the first one. A little bit of an awkward position. Not sure what it was doing there on the top side. I don't think Lucy saw it right there. Have I ever called him Lucy before? Maybe once or twice, Lucy. You know what? When I say Lucy, I remember a girl that I knew back in the day. Her name was Lucy, and that sound right there, like you could just picture my hand, like it's. Sorry, I shouldn't. She was a stunner. Let's just say that. But now coming towards that gold, obviously really smart moves here as well. You hit the gold, you hit the wood, and you're going to stop the gold with the age up and fishing boats with the wood. So let's see exactly how he goes about it. He's just going to look to dive the town center. One of the Keshiks is going to go down. Behind this, it looks like Demu might be thinking about going for Castle Age himself. 3 vills on gold, though. Not really a whole lot. Does take a fair bit of damage there, and he's going to have to head back to the drawing board. May look to heal up here. There's a couple of buildings out on the edge here that he could look to siege down. Maybe go for the mining camp or something like that. You do see a couple of units beginning to build up here. And look how fast they go. Man, Luciferon, he's a fast mover, this guy. Look at this. Gets the damage out. Spear's looking to try and connect. Gonna find a couple stabs here on the Khan. Let's check over on the base of Demu, see how he's doing, because it looks like he will get out. Might lose the Khan, though, but it's not a huge loss for him. Don't worry, ladies and gentlemen. He'll be back. He's just taking a short nap. I love it. I love it. I love it. One of the things we didn't talk about is how does he get back into this game? Obviously, he wants to go Castle Age. He needs to go Castle Age because he wants to get these upgraded Keshiks so he can start really hitting hard. But at the same time, double TC is going to insulate him from the ocean. There is one risk, though, and that is the risk that Luciferon ages up before Demu and looks to hit him with a Gulam timing attack. Now, there is potential for that, but the question is whether Luciferon's going to find it. I've got to stop calling him Lucy. It is a very curious decision. So we can see that the scout comes out here, and I'm pretty confident Luciferon did see that second TC. Obviously, we don't know, and this is feedback that I've given back to the devs about 2 years ago, where I said, look, it'd be really nice when we switch to somebody's perspective, if we'd be able to see what they saw through the fog of war. So, you know, if the scout for Luciferon has been somewhere, we should be able to see, oh, okay, well, he spotted out the town center, so we should be able to see that, but obviously we don't, right? As an example, if I switch right now to Demu and we go look at the base of Luciferon, we just see nothing. We don't even see the trees. And it's 2 years that this has since gone by. And I'm still wondering, why is it not fixed? It seems like something so basic. And yet, it's not fixed. But look, put that on that's not even the top of my list. I'll say that much. Obviously, Zoom was pretty high up there. But take a look at this. Demu going to be going for a very quick age up. Doing some pretty decent damage on that other side. Oh, Luciferon. I can't help but feel like, hold on. He's got 24 military population right now. Where is it? Is it all spears? It's all spears. I can't help but feel like this is a huge mistake from him. So normally, what ideally you should be doing is just making enough spears to safely get to the Castle Age. That should be your goal. But I guess realistically, Luciferon will be able to get veterancy on these, and we'll be able to find good, like a solid use for them. They're obviously always going to be quite good. The problem that he may have is that Demu may switch to spear crossbow himself. In which case, the spears kind of just become irrelevant. The Gulam's obviously decent. You can always look to get a mango or two at the back. But the spears, on the other hand, might just become a little bit of cannon fodder. Battering ram going to be forced back here as the villagers do get pulled. Says, you're not going to be taking out my archery range, sir. I need this archery range for making crossbows. We can see he's got a couple of archers in the queue at the moment. Checking in now on this south side. That's right on board with Luciferon. Yet to click up, but very, very close. We'll switch it over to income per minute so you guys can see the numbers that these guys are currently sitting at. Still, at this point, I suspect the advantage is heavily in favor of Luciferon. Let's take a quick look here. A little bit of a geese. 600, 700-ish, 900, 1,000. 1,000 resources a minute coming in for Demu. Compare that over to his opponent who's sitting on 1,500 plus. So definitely the advantage sits with Luciferon quite handily at the moment. Battering ram may get caught with its pants down. Spears come just in time, but still that spearman number quite high. Culture Wing going to come up now, but I can't help but feel Demu's going to buy himself some pretty good time right now. Could look to be picking up relics out on the map. That's going to be a big factor here. On top of that, now that he's in the Castle Age, he can really look to start building that crossbow mass. Don't be surprised if we start to see a blacksmith. Oh, never mind, the blacksmith is already down. Expect to see improved siege engineering coming out as well. One of the best technologies in the game. Obviously, it's technically unique, which is the best kind of correct, to be technically correct. So it's technically unique, but the Abbasid do have the ability to also train siege out in the battlefield. Well, mangonels and springs. They don't have the ability to train trebuchets or construct trebuchets out there, unfortunately. Oh, excuse me right there. A little bit of a burp. Just had a Red Bull. I saw a comment from somebody on YouTube. They were like, Drongo, to be honest, look, you've got a pretty big platform, and you shouldn't be, you know, you shouldn't be giving Red Bull these advertisements. I'm like, look, to be fair, sure, okay, but at the same time, they're like, that's $1 billion company, bro. I'm not gonna worry about that too much. I mean, at the same time, I mean, I may have influence, and they may not be the healthiest of drinks, but at the end of the day, I'm passionate about it. I mean, it's weird to be passionate about a brand, right? Like, it kind of feels like, have you ever seen somebody just wearing a hat? I'm going to offend a whole bunch of people right now. Have you ever just seen somebody wearing a Mercedes-Benz hat? It's like, it's that kind of thing, right? Like, I enjoy the product. I enjoy, I guess I enjoy it a lot. I mean, I'm not a walking billboard, but I guess I kind of am when I'm doing that stuff. I don't know. Look, anyway, I was drinking a Red Bull. It's relevant. It's relevant. Anyway, over on the south side, we do see an interesting development. 4 stables getting thrown down as the new age begins. Looks like the blacksmith is going to come up. Of course, it was with the culture wing. Expect to see the preservation of knowledge coming through shortly. And there it is in the queue. And what options does he look for here? You know, the reason why he's going into horsemen so heavily here is because of this fishing economy. Remember, he's got quite a large amount of fishing boats out here. What is going on? All of these guys, he's bringing them back for some sweet little shoreline fishing. So, moving into horsemen because he's just got an excess of food. It makes total sense. So expect to see veterancy coming through. I wouldn't be surprised if he even looked to pick up a couple camels here, but it's always important to counter what you see from the enemy and not what you think the enemy will make. And obviously the camels are very a very specialized unit. That's the word I was looking for. Double Mosque now going to be coming down. Let's check in with Demo, see how he's doing on that top side as the first relic comes through. I don't know whether we've got double production in, but the second Shaman is on the way out here. Outpost going to be thrown down, and of course we do see a Mangonel mate out. I'm assuming in the field. Let's double check. Indeed we do. Improved siege engineering is through. Luciferon now picking up a whole bunch of upgrades. Veteran Spearman, Veteran Horseman. Iron Undermesh has already been picked up, so he's going to be looking for that lumber preservation, that wedge rivets. There we go. Moved right as I was about to read it. And of course, picking up that 15-minute wheelbarrow. Those Spanish brothers, Luciferon Vortex, notorious for just how late they pick these up. Relic in the middle. Sorry, mate, he says. That is my relic. Let's keep the line of sight on for now, or off rather for now. We'll get to enjoy the entirety of the battlefield. Veterancy comes through on the Kashik, pushing forward now. Outposts continue to come up, and you can see the sprinkled emplacements coming in. Remember, one of the keys to any Mongol push is the sprinkled emplacement. You might ask why? Why is that, Drongo? Because the idea is, if your enemy sees that sprinkled emplacement, they say, I don't want to attack under here. That means that they don't want to dive the Mango. That means they don't want to dive the archers. It's really important that you have that sprinkled emplacement coming up there. So he's going to be spending almost all of his stone on those sprinkled emplacements and continues to push up slowly by slowly. I love this. This is a really solid push now coming through. The question is, where is the response from Luciferon? Starting to build up. We see the market on the backside. He's got a little bit of wood stacked up here. Might be thinking about throwing down. There it is. The Springalds coming in. So we'll be looking for the counterplay. Keep in mind that these Springalds going to need quite a bit of damage on these battering rams if he wants to take them out. It's going to be a slow and steady trickle. Another thing to note is that when you're looking to take these out, you do somewhat expose yourself to the enemy Springalds. At the same time, a counterattack towards that north side. Horseman going to be chasing the villagers into the town center. Meanwhile, he's got +2 ranged armor, so not going to be able to take not going to be taking too much damage back there. Battering ram here with 8 health. Just looking to bait away a couple of shots, maybe, if he can be fortunate. What is this villager pull right now? He is pulling everything to the front line. What is going on? Okay, and he sends them back. I'm like, he's not dropping a keep. He's not playing a civilization with keeps. But now the push. Finally going to come in. 17 minutes. The biggest battle we begin to witness. Mango shot from the top rope. Hits all these crossbows. They're all pretty low. Keep in mind there is only a... there's going to be not a lot of healing. A big shot coming in. Khan goes down as well. Nice little defense from Luciferon. Springled on the backside. Do go down. A single springled here for his opponent. A Mangonel also there as well, continuing to kite towards those wooden fences, those palisade walls, and it looks like he's going to be able to hold them. Remember, the sprinkled emplacements are what does it. He just cannot push into that. Vil's now going to be brought forward here, looking to try and take out the battering rams, but will struggle as additional siege is coming down. Has to fall back on with the villagers. Still up by about 10 Vils, 10 economic units at the moment, slowly rebuilding. You can see the eco numbers here looking about 2.1k compared to his opponent, looking something similar, maybe a little bit even more at this point. But Demu has managed to bring this back. The second TC really did an absolute number here, making sure that he doesn't fall too far behind. Keep in mind, Luciferon's still on the 1 TC at the moment. Now, you are about to see what is the greatest weakness of the Abbasid dynasty, and that is their inability to create new landmarks. They've got 2 landmarks. That's it. 1, 2. And you put those landmarks down at the very beginning of the game. Often you don't really think too much. I mean, you obviously think quite a bit about where you're going to put it, but you're not really thinking, maybe there's a push coming in at 19 minutes and I need to put it in the back of my base where it's safe. There's a problem right now for Luciferon. You might not see it. I can tell you right now. It is these landmarks. These landmarks are in trouble. There is a huge amount of siege that is coming in on this backline. Continuing to pump out units. We can see behind this, Kashik's crossbows, both on the way in. A distinct lack of spears, but obviously not a huge amount of cavalry coming out from Luciferon. Able to hold it for the moment. Step out, going to be coming up. And now falling back, continuing to rebuild. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a couple of trebuchets here at this point. But he looks to just be sticking it to rams. Long gone are the days of the trebuchets. And now continuing to push up. Town Center firing down. Working his way through that House of Wisdom. Remember, once the House of Wisdom goes down, no age up. It's not happening. New Khan rises from the dead. Springald's looking to fire off. Not going to be able to find it. Sacred Sight's being captured behind the scenes. Looks like the cavalry will manage to take out one of the Springalds. He's going to have to look to rebuild. More battering rams coming in. He's got 4 already. A very tense moment right now. Stuck in the balance between taking out all these units, losing his landmark, and just not enough units. You can see he's really starting to struggle with the macro. Kind of thinking, oh, maybe I need to do a bit of a farm transition. Maybe I need to go out and move onto these berries. But obviously just doesn't have the APM for it at the moment. He's under so much pressure, and now the Springalds firing off. Looks like they've taken out all the enemy Springalds for the moment, but you can see just how much health they've got to go through on these battering rams. Actually looking to snipe out the Keshiks. We see a Mangonel coming out from underneath. Spears moving to the front. Looks like the Keshiks may be able to find the Mango. Mango on the back line will hit the archers. But unfortunately, it looks like the Mango, just like the House of Wisdom, will go down. And the landmark victory is now approaching. Springald number 1 goes down here. Second Springald going to get caught as well with its pants down. And he has taken out every single one of these siege engines. Now Luciferon, with 26 military left, is left with an absolute dream. Is there any way that he possibly holds it from this position? That is the question. He needs to pull vills, and now we start to see those villagers come. So the villagers will need to siege down the battering ram. At the same time, the town center will need to fire down these archers, but there's so many damn units here. Repairs on the backside. He's down to 2,000 health. Battering rams continuing to fire down. And speaking of fire, the town center's on fire. Less than 1,400 health to go. The Vill's going to be able to pull, and look at this. Manages to come through. Town center, almost 1,000 health left on it. He's going to have another hit. He's under 1,000. We try and get in on the backside as that one battering ram is the difference between the victory here or the continued game. And it looks like the battering ram will go down, but he's lost a lot of vills. 62 workers now compared to 66. 21 workers taken out a piece. You can see that even behind all of this, despite the town center being so close to death, he is still raiding the opponent. He is still taking out villagers. He says, you know what? It doesn't even matter, mate. It doesn't even matter. You look at him. He's making a battering ram right underneath the town center right now. Less than 1,000 health on this TC. Not even repairing it up. Luciferon with 1,400 wood in the bank has more than enough to repair. He's going to have to pull more vills, and exactly what he does. Vills are out here over on the east side. But now the vills on the back. He's got 14, looking to repair. Brings it up. Can I click? There we go. Brings it up to 1,100 health. Still struggling though. Archer numbers continuing to dwindle, and it looks like we might have ourselves a hold as the final horsemen make their way to the front, and a slight difference between these two players. But I can't help but feel this is only the first round. Wow, what a hold right there from Luciferon. Incredible stuff. Pulled just the right amount of villagers. You can see now he's going to start to repair. That town center needs to get that back up to 7k, but also needs to work on the House of Wisdom. Keep in mind when you're repairing up the House of Wisdom, it's a real difficult thing to gauge, because on one hand, you want to bring it up as quickly as you can, but on the other hand, you don't want to spend 1 million resources. And I'm quite serious when I say 1 million resources. It's something that I often refer to. I remember playing a game or watching a game. It was one of the two. And there was somebody who had 5 digits of wood, 5 figures of wood in the bank. And they were repairing their maximum health House of Wisdom. And I think it has like 27,000 health, something ridiculous. You know, like the tier 4 with the Court Architect's upgrade. And he went all the way down to 0 wood. He could not repair it because he was repairing it too fast. Just remember, there are mitigating returns when it comes to repair. The most effective way to repair something is just with 1 villager. But obviously, short of that, 2 villagers, 3 villagers, etc. And I think he had close to like 70 villagers trying to repair the House of Wisdom. And it went down pretty darn quick. But now, holding on. Battering ram moving through. The trebuchet going to be coming out, looking to clear out these outposts. Definitely the right call. Expect to see a few more horsemen coming out from Luciferon here. Would make a fair bit of sense. Once you lose those outposts, then horsemen become a lot more potent on this backline, because it allows you to really dive in there, get the kill confirm. It looks like the outpost is going or the trebuchet is going to miss on the outpost. It's got a 5% chance to miss. And it does miss. At least I remember, if I remember correctly from Age of Noobs video, it was 5%. It may be more than that. Maybe it's 10%. But we do see another raid coming in. Luciferon looking for a way to come back into the game. He senses that it's going to be through taking out villagers. Mangonel looking to try and pick off a couple of archers. Little splits coming through from Demu. Is he going to be able to find it? The only thing it looks like he's going to be able to find is a spear to the face. No, never mind. It's a sword. And he's able to clear it out behind him. Unfortunately, he gets taken out. Mango loses it. Springald here, also under threat, continues to pull it back. There's more Springalds on the backside. Plenty of units back here. Needs to bring them up. He's really going for just this trash combo, and unfortunately, the counterweight Trebuchet just whiffs completely. Spears, nowhere to be seen. He needs to pull up these spears. Now all the sacred sites have been taken. 1, 2 sacred sites. Over for the green guys. How are you missing? This counterweight Trebuchet is the most troll Trebuchet I've ever seen. 2 shots in the front. He missed this one up here. It is missing all of them. And all the town center's under threat again. The town center's under threat again. He still hasn't got the landmark up. Remember, you need to get the landmark to 100% health before it counts as being back online. Still, it is technically deceased at this point. Even though this town center is alive, that is because it didn't die. Once it's dead, it needs to go to 100%. But it looks like, oh, I tell you what, they're just teetering on the edge right now of surviving and not, just like this Khan is right here. But it looks like, oh, the Springwood was going to go for it. He gets it. Khan goes down once again. And Demu with the vampire, the zombie Khan, I think he's managed to hold. Now, for me, the biggest thing right now is for Luciferon is throwing down a keep. He needs to throw down a keep right here in this position. If you're able to get it up, it's going to save you. It's going to give you so much leverage because it means that if your enemy tries to connect with the town center, with the House of Wisdom, you're going to have that boiling oil. And you're going to be able to protect against anything like that. So ideally, let's have a look and see. Luciferon, 825, 840. So he's going to be working towards that keep. Where are the villagers? Because he's got stone down here. There we go. So a couple of villagers here on stone. Still no second TC, by the way. So TC, doing decently. 3 vills on it, which is probably the optimal number. It's the optimal compromise of like repair rate and wood expenditure rate. Obviously, it depends on a number of other factors. But Luciferon, maybe looking, I think he might be looking to go drop a keep in the middle. Yeah, okay, so it's going to be a keep on the gold, which is definitely a smart choice here, especially considering the fact he is all out of gold at this point. He's been just going with the trash army. Now manages to clean up this position. We'll need to start thinking about a second keep, though, because I can tell you what, Demu knows that there's... Yeah, he knows. He knows there's blood in the water. You can see the way he anchors towards his south side. Maybe it's just to protect the sacred site here. I don't feel like he's actually going for a sacred victory, rather just looking to gather up the gold, and the sacred victory timer is just it's a consequence of that. That's probably the best way to say it. All right, well, out in the water, still uncontested. You know, often, which is quite interesting, often we look at the water on this map, and we're like, he who wins the water wins the game. Yet Demu is actually giving Luciferon an incredible run for his money. It looked pretty close back there. Less than 1,000 health to go before that TC went down. One more battering ram would have been the difference. Spears coming in, bracing behind the Springwood. It's never a smart idea, guys. You know, that's something that they should... How do you even fix that, right? Because we just saw right there, like the Spears are bracing against the Keshiks, but they're bracing behind the Springwoods. It's like, because the charge is going to... Whoa, whoa, whoa. What do we hear right now? Enemy landmark destroyed? No, wait. No, he... What? I'm pretty confident it was just the House of Wisdom just being returned back to its previous state. I'm 99% sure that's what it was. But we got a weird notification. I'm going to go have to check the replay or the recording and see what that was. Interestingly, no sign of an imp here. But I guess you'd probably see the imp as they get closer in on that 200 population. Normally, you'd see a larger importance placed on siege, but we really don't see that here. It's only a few Springwoods that both of these players have got for the moment. Another raid coming through on this top side. Moreville's going to be taken out here from that front position. You could see he was running in towards this gold. Isn't going to fight. Why was he running towards this gold? You've got all of the gold in the world right here. That doesn't really make sense. That must have been a misclick. There's no way that was intentional. He's done that twice now. And now we see what may be an attempt on the life of Luciferon once again. More units going to continue streaming in from that north side. A distinct lack of battering rams, though, for him. Keep going to get thrown down. I'm going to be honest, I don't like this keep position. I mean, it's good, but it's not where it should be, in my opinion. I feel like it had to be here. I mean, technically, you're still covering the first landmark. The problem is you're only covering the east side of it. If you put the keep right here, you're covering both of these positions. And sure, it makes it a little bit more susceptible to trebuchets. And obviously, you can't do it right now because there's enemy units here. But still, it definitely doesn't feel optimal. But now we've got ourselves a huge battle unfolding as it looks like the armor arrow goes off the top. Springwood's firing off on the back line. Spears together with the horsemen going to be outnumbered, outdone, outclashed, and the keep will go up. He's going to be able to fall back to it. And this is the key that I was talking about before, is you need to be able to fall back towards that keep. The problem that you've got now is that, yeah, you can fall back towards it, but your landmarks are still exposed. These battering rams are still exposed. And unless you've got 4 or 5 Springwoods sitting under here ready to just take out any battering rams that come close, you're going to have a tough time. I think this House of Wisdom is done for. I don't think there's any way this survives. I can't help but... Look, this definitely wasn't a greedy keep by any means. He needed this keep, but I feel like the priority should have been to get a second keep up immediately, because it just felt imminent that this attack was going to be coming through from Demu. And now, as we cross that 30-minute threshold, it looks more and more likely that Demu may be looking to close out the game here. We've seen an incredibly tough fight out from Luciferon, but now Vils come out to the backside looking to repair. More units coming back here, looking to try and build up that Springwood number. But it looks like the House of Wisdom will go down. And this is just one of those things, right, where you're just, at this point, you're just wasting wood. You're prolonging this. And the reality is these Vils need to be under the safety of the keep. They need to be defended. And it looks like the landmark will go down. We're down to one more. God, that's a lot of rams. That is a lot of rams. Oh, my lord, that is a lot of rams. Okay. Houston, we have a problem. Big military advantage here as well. This could be it for Luciferon right now. He needs to pull everything, but we talked about the dangers of going for a keep like this is that you can't keep the enemy back. There's no boiling oil here to stop the army, and now he pulls absolutely everything. Villagers coming up on the repair. How many has he got in there? It won't let me see. There we go. At least 16, I can tell you that much, but look how fast it's going down. There's just not enough Springwoods here to take it out. The units on the backside not being rallied back through, but it looks like he's going to be able to take the town center down under 1,000 health any second now. There it goes. It looks like it might be a good game. Luciferon going to be forced out of the game, will not be tapping out. Good game, ladies and gentlemen. What a beautiful push right there. An absolute death push coming through from Demu. Fellas, leave a link, or I'll leave a link in the description. Go and check them out. Don't you leave a link. Your comment will get blocked. I'll leave a link. Go check out Demu. Go check out Luciferon. These guys are streaming over on Twitch every single day. Go say good day for me, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching.